Hi, this is Shelly. This is actually my third try for this video. There were some really horrific delays last time, so if there are some this time, I'm sorry. Don't know how to help that. I've closed like all the other windows except for the ones I need. So anyway, today I am going to show you how I use Photoshop, which is cool because I love Photoshop and I do it a lot for my work, so I just thought I'd give a quick tutorial about how some simple edits to do on a photo. First, I have a show PowerPoint editing photos. Why do we do it? To be the best that we can be. It's how God created us. We're supposed to be do the best at everything we can and use our gifts for His glory. Obviously, things should be the best they can be in that case. To sub-create, there are times when you modify things in a photo that maybe aren't realistic, like change your hair color, or like different things, which can be fun. It can be fun because we are supposed to sub-create and be creative and change things around. But yeah, reality is also cool, which brings me to recreate, which I feel like when we look at a scene and we take the photo, basically our eyes see differently than the camera. The camera sees completely objectively, whereas the eyes take things away from the photo. For instance, they'll block out electric lines. The colors will be more vivid because we're actually there. So I think by editing the photo, we're actually recreating, in a way, the reality we experienced versus, like, some people would believe that that would be a bad thing to do because it would be taking away from the reality, but it's not. So we're just going to close that. Hopefully that'll give us a less delay. First, you find the photo you want to edit. Once you upload them, immediately they come into Windows Photo Gallery. So you enlarge the photo. You double click on the small photos to enlarge them. Then you right click on the one you want to edit, and you hit Edit with Adobe Photoshop CS2, and it should pop up. Photoshop often has extremely long delays. If I learned from the other times I've tried this, I could have had some sort of song and dance routine worked out, but I don't, I'm afraid. So you'll just be bored. Alright, here we go. Let's just try this one instead. We're going with Adobe Photoshop. There we go. Now we're thinking. Okay. The first thing I always do is crop, because I go around just taking a ton of photos. I don't really work on focusing on what's necessarily super important in a shot, just trying to get them in. So I want to have the focus be on this group of people, which was so helpful cleaning up the campus after the windstorm. What brave people. I woke up like 2 seconds after they finished cleaning and ran out to take photos. I'm a really horrible person, but nobody told me, so I don't blame myself. Anyway, what I'm going to do here, you can move this box up and down manually by clicking and dragging, also by using the arrow keys on the keyboard. You can expand the size using these little buttons over here, and you can even rotate the way it's going. Personally, I'd like to keep this lamp in there so that it doesn't look like there's a pole coming out of August's head, and so there's a little bit of perspective. So once you have the crop box located where you want, hit enter, and the photo will immediately shift. Now to get a better look, you can use on your toolbar this nifty little magnifying glass. And look, it's so big now. The next thing I usually do is adjustments, and I go to brightness and contrast. This is just what makes the photo more vivid. This is generally the only edit I do to my photos. I increase the contrast. Now the thing is, if you go too far, it does start, especially if you have lightness in the background, as in this photo, it takes away from the detail on their faces. So I just try to make it enough so that the colors are more vivid, so you know this is not compared to what we're used to. But it doesn't take too much away from what they actually look like. The brightness is also, especially on bright photos, adds a little bit of depth, but it doesn't always have to be done. One edit that I do sometimes, but not always, is adjusting the hue and saturation. This is a very useful thing to know, especially if you're trying to make photos look more old-timey. Saturation will just make the color slightly more vivid. So if I drive it up to here, the color's just a little bit better. If I drive it all the way over here, it's like, whoa, 80s or 70s or whatever era that is. I've never really studied them. And down here, this is how you make a black and white photo. You're completely desaturating or taking the color out of it. So I'm just going to put it to like 6 or 7 or 8, apparently. Lightness does pretty much the same thing as the brightness and the brightness and contrast. Hue is really fun if you want to make things the different mood. Oh, we're all Smurfs. Oh, we're all still Smurfs. I used this last week, actually, to make a picture I took of Libby at the metro station look a little bit more autumny. It did look like autumn, but if you just bring the hue down a little bit, makes the scene more like what I saw. Like, I felt it a lot more autumny than it looked on camera. So there was some redness. Okay, so that's good. Now I'd save the photo from here. And I will save it as edit, because you always want to keep the original, because we all know that every time you save something, the image quality decreases. So I don't do that anymore ever since I learned that from your class, because you're awesome. So there are a couple other nifty tools in the toolbar I'm just going to go over before we leave, and then I'm going to do some really fun stuff. This is Zoom. This is Add Text. This is the brush tool. This is a spot healing brush. It's pretty awesome because if there's something like a stick, like you would take the spot healing brush and be like, this isn't supposed to be here. Guess from the colors surrounding it in this photo what it should look like. And then Photoshop guesses and usually does a pretty good job. And look, it's hidden a ton of leaves. Now I really don't want to do that because I like having the stick in there. That's kind of the point of the picture. But yeah, this clone stamp is also a pretty nifty thing because you can move things around, or you can clone like people's skin and put it over their hair if there's like something in the middle of their forehead that the spot healing brush isn't healing right. Like you can just do it by hand. The idea of this is I'll click and then you can put it over here. And now look, there's a magical lamp in the middle of our bush. What the heck? They don't belong there, but anyway, this one does because I put it there. Now we have a second lamp, and I can even have a third lamp, but I'm not going to do that. So anyway, that's kind of a fun one. Here is another fun thing to do. The layers are super important. This is masking. This is how you get vignette, which is like when it's darker around the edge of the photo. What you do is you would go to layer, new adjustment layer, and then you'd go to brightness and contrast. It would pop up with the brightness and contrast screen. So you'd put the contrast, or the brightness way down, so the entire picture would be black, or not black, but darker, and then the entire picture would be darker, and then you would take this brush, you would make it, yeah, probably about this size, and then you would just paint over it, and wherever you paint, depending on the hardness, is going to, yeah, it's going to become the exact same, so you're going to end up with this part being the same color, but around here being darker. You can also do this to take out colors. You can do the image, new adjustment layer, and then you can do new adjustment layer, and then you can do hue saturation. You can turn the entire thing black and white, and then paint back the color in just one color. For instance, like just Deb's shirt. So that could look kind of cool. That's a fancy thing that photo studios often do. The last fun thing I'm going to show is these really cool filters. So we're going to start with colored pencil, even though it's not actually my favorite filter. But anyway, it will do different effects to your photos, and you don't have to do anything except for choose a filter, which is awesome. So I'm way too lazy to figure out how to do that on my own. Paint knobs looks cool. Here's some distortions. Everybody loves distortions. Yeah, ocean ripple, glass, diffuse glow. Just a ton of creative things that you can do with a photo. There are a lot of things that aren't, generally done. Like, why would you do that? Oh, where's poster edges? Oh, that one's really cool. Makes everything look like a really awesome poster. It's better if you get bigger faces. But anyway, yeah, I rarely use these, but I do when I kind of have artistic shots sometimes just for fun. So anyway, there's some fun things. Now we're mosaic. So anyway, there's some fun things you can do with photos. Cancel because I really don't need any of that. But yeah, you can do with photos, and this is how I do my job in Photoshop. So thank you for listening, and have a great day. I said great day again. What? Thank you, Amy.